Hey, how you doing? It's challenging to be a man these days, isn't it? It's almost as if wherever you look, there's a reminder, there's a guru just a few clicks away. There's someone just there to remind you that you need something. Either you need that six pack or the biceps, or you need the car and the good job. It just seems like it's no longer enough to be yourself. You always have to have big things going on for people to take you seriously. And that is just frustrating. That is stressful. Because now you have people who are so pretentious. And those people who are pretentious, they're not realizing that they're hurting other people, because people who see them pretending don't know they're pretending. And then they feel worse about themselves watching a pretender pretending that they have something they don't, or they're living a certain life. What is going on? Everyone is just confused and hurt about something, or feeling sad because they feel like they don't own things, or they're not as proficient, or they're not as productive. Look, I'm not gonna lie, I do feel that sometimes. I ask myself the same about the choices I've made. Are they the right ones? Are they gonna lead somewhere? But you see, those are the types of thoughts that I'm learning to avoid, because you don't want to attach yourself to the ending. You want to attach yourself to the now. Because those things that you see, those gurus, everybody that you see trying to parade or sell you something or tell you that you need something aside from yourself, that's going to make you look a certain way, to be a certain way, or to feel a certain way, so you can either get the woman of your dreams or to get those cars and all of that. Those people started just like you. They all started on level 0. They've got to a point where now they are selling a product. I'm not saying that every guru is wrong, because I've came across some people who are doing a service that are genuinely trying to help, and that are genuinely trying to elevate people. That saying that don't give a man a fish, teach him how to fish. People who teach me how to fish, and those are the people I like to listen to, and those are the people I genuinely love, and they are the ones who've motivated me to get myself through certain situations. People who are pushing good values. So the reason why I mentioned that they start from 0 is because we all start from somewhere, and that's what you need to remind yourself, or that's what I'm constantly reminding myself, that everyone starts from 0. You just have to start and do it, because if it's the wrong thing, you are going to know. You're genuinely going to know. Something along the way is going to just nudge you and tell you, no, listen, this is the wrong direction, go the other way. If it's God, Allah, or whoever, Buddha, that entity or that higher power that you feel in touch with, the universe or whatever, is going to nudge you in a certain direction, and that's going to be through rejection. That's going to be through certain things that you encounter along the way, but those are going to push you in the right direction. The main point of this is that everyone starts from 0. We all don't start on level 100. Everyone you see, and that's just something that you need to remind yourself. That's something I'm constantly having to remind myself as well, that those people that I maybe aspire to be like, to be honest, I want to be the best version of myself. Yes, I may see people who are doing well and want to have an impact that's similar to them, but I don't want to be like anyone else. I don't want to be like anybody. I want to be like the best version of me, like the highest expression of myself. I don't want to be some knock-off version of someone else. I want to be me, because I have skills that other people don't have, and some people have skills that I don't have, and that's what makes me unique. And I've had experiences in my life that make me unique. So you too need to think of that. What makes you unique? What comes to you easily that you can do and just feel like you're not working, or feel like you're being productive? But you have to understand one thing. It is not gonna be a breeze. Yes, you might be good at something, but every industry is oversaturated. Every industry. And you have to set yourself apart from everybody else by being unique, by being your very self, your authentic self. Just because things come easy to you and maybe that's a skill that you have better than anyone else, fine. But there are going to be people who don't have that skill but work twice as hard, invest twice as much time and money into what you are trying to do as well. And those are the things you need to keep in mind. The next point from starting from zero, is that when you do go to the next level, you have to understand that there's is never going to be a point where you feel like, oh, I've achieved everything in my life, so I can just check out now. Because that journey of you trying to attain something is going to change you. And the mindset you have that you're thinking, if I get this, I'll be okay. You won't be okay, because when you get to that point where you've achieved whatever you want to achieve, you would have become a different person who values different things. And that person will be able to achieve the goals you previously wanted, but achieve them easily. And that person is going to have more goals ahead. So just know that it's never going to be enough. There's always going to be another level. If you watch Dragon Ball Z, or if you read manga or anime or watch anime, you know that some characters they have limitless levels. Like, for example, Goku, like Super Saiyan this, Super Saiyan, and it's this next level. You think he's reached that level. No, he reaches another level, because you just have to keep pushing yourself. You just have to keep going. There is no way you're just gonna feel fulfilled by just sitting. For instance, when you play video games, your character, for those who don't play video games, this is the thing or person you play as. The character you start with at the beginning of the game, if you're playing one of those story games where there's a story that is outlined, right? The character you start as is the same character you end up with at the end, but the skills are different. The skills that character attains along the way, that you learn to do, or you learn to make that character do, are completely different, and they're at a higher level than the character you started with. It's the same character but different skills that can achieve different things, and that character is just leveling up. And I think that's a beautiful metaphor for life, because that's how you just need to look at life. Life is not a game, but if you start looking at life as a series of problems that you need to solve, it's gonna become a game. You're gonna gamify it, because you're gonna think, what skills do I need to achieve it? And then you achieve that, you practice and learn those skills, and then you go and get it. And then it's gonna be the next thing and the next thing. But you just have to understand that it's bottomless. You set the cap, and you have to stop yourself and appreciate what you have. Otherwise, if you chase, you're gonna chase your shadow, because there are certain things that you're not gonna be able to catch. So you need to catch yourself when you're going too fast, and note to yourself that, okay, yes, I do have things I want to achieve, but you know what? Look at what I have. Look what I've already achieved, and appreciate that. Because at the end of the day, no one's going to stop you and appreciate it for you. People might like you for the things you've achieved, but as soon as those things go and those people only like you for those things, they'll disappear. So you should learn to appreciate things for yourself. Take time to smell your flowers. This concept has popped up before with professional athletes. For example, Tyson Fury. He said, I think when he won world champion, at one point he got depressed because he didn't know what else to do, right? Because the depression hit, he had achieved it, but now he didn't know what else to do, right? Because he'd achieved his ultimate goal, world champion. So that's why he started drinking, drugs and everything, because the person he had become was this person who still wants more, but then he's stopped. So, okay, I've achieved it, cool. Now I can chill. But then the person you've become is like, nah, no way, I need more. So you start to feel like, what's going on? I feel so empty. I feel so depressed, or I feel so heavy and lost, because you're not appreciating what you have. So appreciating what you have is important. is so important because it gives you a nice perspective of where you are and where you've come from. And then that's gonna help you then re-strategize and plan goals that are aligned with the person who you've become, the person who has new responsibilities, the person who can now have bigger and better goals. So my final point would be to continuously test yourself. And I remember a conversation I had here with a bar owner. He had a small bar. It wasn't a big bar. It was a cozy little bar, but it was nice and cozy. So he was successful, right? Because he's got his business license and everything. And it was empty. So me and my friend got to speaking to him. We spoke for ages. I wanted to record him, but he refused. He was, because his past was messy. He was involved in gangs and all sorts. Like, you thought his past might catch up to him, or it might seem like he's talking bad about it, but regardless, he didn't want to be recorded. And I appreciated that, because as a result, I listened carefully to the conversation, and one of the things that it really stood out to me was he said, you need to test your heart. And that is the final point here. You need to test your heart continuously, because when you test your heart, you're seeking that discomfort. And when you seek that discomfort, you grow. Because being comfortable is what's going to ruin you. I noticed it myself. I got a job last year, the one I'm leaving now. Very nice and cozy teaching job. It doesn't feel like I'm working, so I'm comfortable. But then I realized I was starting to feel lost and lazy. I wasn't growing. And if you stop growing, your brain will start sabotaging you. Because if you're really busy, and I've noticed that these past few weeks I've been quite busy. I'm studying for a Montessori teaching certificate. I'm studying Chinese. I'm also doing the work that I normally do. So that's a lot that I'm doing in my life. My brain doesn't have the time to sabotage me, because I'm thinking about how to organize these things. I'm thinking about prioritizing my list and getting things done and all of that. And that's what I noticed. When you have time on your hands, that's when your brain starts sabotaging you. That's when your brain starts coming up with these random comments and questions. But if you're leaving work and going to the gym, or leaving work and going to a Chinese class, and on top of that, during the weekends you are studying, you don't have time to wallow or start thinking about, oh, woe is me, all of that, because you're thinking about using your time wisely. Don't get me wrong, sometimes you can just be busy doing nothing. Think about it. There's times where you've been doing something, you're like, yeah, I've been busy, but what have I actually been doing? Absolutely nothing. So you kind of have to find a balance there. Put yourself in a situation that's going to help you grow. For instance, I'm going to use another game analogy. If you're playing games and you can't pass a certain level, you know that you are never going to pass that level if you don't up your skills, if you don't play harder, if you don't play smarter. So why is it different when it comes to life? Guess what? It's not different when it comes to life. It's completely the same thing, because you need to up those skills to get whatever you want. Jordan Peterson said, in life, if you're trying to date women and women don't want to, date you, that is basically the ultimate indication that, no one wants to mate with you. And that's the ultimate indication that you need to change. And if that's not the ultimate indication for you, then nothing will probably get better. Because if you can't realize that who you are now is not very attractive, and not to say that you're doing it for females or anybody else, you need to do things for yourself so you can attain the things that you want, so you can have peace of mind and you can have the happiness that you want. It would be nice if IKEA had a manual. At this point, I'll take even an IKEA manual. IKEA manuals are so annoying, but once you get the hang of it, you've got it. And I feel like sometimes life, it needs a manual like that. And we've been given these manuals through different things. Like right now I'm talking about games, other people talking, and the situations we're having. Like those are our manuals. So pay attention to your life, because you might see some things in there that can be relatable to your situations and help you change your life. And do things for yourself. For instance, like when I'm out and about, sometimes I bump into some of my friends and they're like, "Oh, sorry, I haven't listened to your podcast yet." I told them it's genuinely fun, and it genuinely is, because I'm not doing it so that they can validate me or continuously listen to my podcast and give me reviews. No, I'm doing this so that I can possibly help someone by something I say. And the indirect effect of that is I hope to get much better at public speaking. And those are the main reasons I do this. And I continuously remind myself so that I keep going during insanely busy times and during these tough times in 2022. It's tough being a man in 2022. So as a man, if you share the same sentiment, or you're going through the same thing, or you're in a similar situation, I do hope this helps you, and I hope we can help more men to heal so we can change the world. My name is Valentin Moyo, and this is Men Are Human Too. Catch you next time.